Regret number 118. I regret staying with someone who cheated on me or lied to me because I discovered his serial addiction to sex and or porn and knew he'd never be faithful to me, she said. I had to leave. Regret number 119. They say dress for the job you want. Well, I neglected to apply that to my love life, she said. Big mistake. Now I dress for the love, not lust, that I want. Dressing appropriately and smartly are the first steps toward catching everyone's eye on you. You know that you only have seconds to make a good first impression on someone, right? Well, make it memorable and make it a clean and yet very mysterious one. If you just have everything hanging all out, well, there's no mystery to that. So dress for love, not so much lust. Regret number 120. My regrets all relate to inaction and not acting on my impulses. Regrets can stay with you forever. Mine have. When I look back, I'd rather have tried and got shot down than to live with the haunting nightmare in my head that I never tried or gave it my all. For the rest of my life, I'll never know if we could have been a great couple together, and it kills me. Regret number 121. I regret having lots and lots of sex. Enjoying it, but not getting the love I really wanted to go along with it. Hey, don't get me wrong. Sex is great, but anybody can have sex. It's love that's the mystery and keeps you warm at night when you're savoring the intimacy with someone special. That's what I want more than anything else now with someone. Love, to be loved, and to love, and yes, sex, of course. Now I want more L, love, with all that S, sex, and in that order. L and then S. I want love first, sex second. Regret number 122. I regret not going for it. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen, and she was sitting right there for me to approach her. What did I have to lose? Nothing. What did I lose? Her. Everything. Now, I will never know what could have evolved. I hate how sometimes you can't go back in time. So going forward, I'm going to trip, I'm going to fall, I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to flounder my words, I'm not even going to get them out right. It doesn't matter. I made the approach, and that's what counts. Regret number 123. I regret thinking I was perfect in all that I did, said, and lived for. Surprise! I'm not perfect. Surprise! Neither is anybody else. We're all imperfect souls looking for some other soulmate, looking for what we all have in common. Nothing. We're all imperfect. The cool thing about that, and this is a side note, is that we are totally imperfect. And what happens is we bring our imperfect selves to the table of relationships and meeting somebody, and they bring their imperfect self to the table. And we put our imperfect selves together, and what do we become? 50 plus 50 is 100. That's 100%. We become the perfect couple. And I've mentioned that early on in some of my other books about the perfect man, the perfect woman. They're not out there. Everybody's got their flaws. But when we can come together and work on each other and we become a pair, well, now we become the perfect couple. Check that out. Regret number 124. I regret not acting on that silent crush that I had on someone. Instead, I just let them slip away forever into that dark hole of painful regrets. Well, not anymore. When I see someone that I'm interested in, I'm now going to speak up and introduce myself. How hard can that be? Regret number 125. I lost a guy who didn't catch on that I was interested in him, she said. So I came up with a new strategy. Instead of body language, tips and cues and clues, I'm just going to say, I find you really interesting. Can we talk? It shows respect. And now, if you have evolved in your relationship, there's no harm in telling him or her that you are sexually attracted to that person. Straight talk is always best leveraged with a little sensitivity. Sometimes people can be clueless, we don't read minds. So sometimes you just have to walk right up to them and say, hey, I really find you interesting. Got a minute? Can we talk? Great. Yeah, let's sit down. Regret number 126. I regret not giving more of me to the person I was dating. Instead, I had revolving door relationships. It wouldn't be unlike me to date many people in a given year. I enjoyed my time with them, sure, but what did I really gain? Nothing in the end. Well, the sex was good with some of them, but still my heart was left empty with no real memories, just regrets. Regret number 127. Waiting and waiting for things to fall into place, and they never really did. I hoped, but knew they never would. Why? Well, I should have made things happen instead of waiting for them to happen. Life doesn't work that way unless we take action on what we want. Regret number 128. I regret spending too much time with guys who didn't reach for my hand because they wanted to, or who only made me feel special once and not all the time, she said, or who only reached under the sheets for me to get what they wanted. I could visualize his arms around me, but the feelings I got were cold. Then I felt his hand on my leg as we sat next to each other in the movie, and I felt warm. I'm learning that guys will enjoy their video games and their sports and sex, but I need to be a priority on his to-do list. I want him to kiss me from head to toe and show me he cares about me. I regret giving all those guys who don't do those special things for me any of my time. Regret number 129. I regret not having the guts to put the brakes on a train wreck bound to happen, because it did. We fought, and I just didn't have the courage to get out sooner. What a waste of time. Regret number 130. I regret giving it to him or her the second time around. I felt sorry when he said he was lonely without me, she said. I had to remind myself that we broke up for good reasons. I should have stood by my ground and said, hey, I'm sorry, but you've got to go. You can't sleep here tonight, or whatever. Hey, when it's over, it's over. Be kind, polite, and courteous. Speak in soft tones. Don't raise your voice. But don't give in to someone else's insecurities or inability to deal with the breakup. Don't let that weak person be you, because you're giving in to their needs because they're not handling the rejection process well. Regret number 131. I regret not looking back when I needed to look ahead. Nothing will ever be good enough if the relationship isn't right for both of you in the first place. It's time for a fresh start. Regret number 132. I regret not confronting a cheater face to face. Doing it by email, text, or over the phone just isn't the same. She got off too easy. I should have personally delivered the message that I was hurt. And should there be a next time, which I hope not, and someone is cheating, that's a red flag. Don't ignore the signals. Say something. Bring it up. Regret number 133. As a woman, which I'm not, but she speaks. As a woman, I regret not taking the initiative and walking over to talk to that guy that looked at me in that special way. But I didn't respond and gave him the idea that I wasn't interested. What was the matter with me? Next time I see a man that I really like, I'm going to walk up to him and say, "Can I buy you a drink?" I'm kidding, but you can buy me one though. And then I'll spring for the next one. Hey, you get the idea, right? Regret number 134. I regret not being able to make our marriage last until death do us part. We both killed our marriage. I know I want to marry again, but this time I'll try not to make the same mistakes.